is Samantha Biffle, and I am Education and Programs Manager here at the Panhandle-Plains Historical Museum, and today we're making cheesecake. You might ask why? Well, it's National Cheesecake Day, so why wouldn't we? I found a historic recipe in our research center, and this recipe is actually from the 1930s, which is really around the time that cheesecake became prominent in the United States. So it's a great example of an early recipe, and I hope you'll enjoy it as much as I do. This recipe for cheesecake, note, two different words, cheese space cake, is from Pet Recipes by the Pet Milk Company, St. Louis, Missouri, 1930, and it's from page 23. One package is Zwieback crackers. Those are sort of a special ingredient now, but they used to be commonly used for teething babies. 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 tablespoon sugar, separated, and then another cup of sugar. 5 1/3 packages of white cream cheese, but really in modern standards, just get 2 packages and it's a pound. 2 tablespoons of flour, that's all-purpose flour, pinch of salt, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 4 eggs separated, and 1 cup of pet milk. I should note that it was really popular and still is relatively popular for companies to publish recipes using their own products. It was a good way to advertise and get consumers to use these new products. One note is that if you can't find Zwieback crackers, you can do 1 cup of fine toast crumbs, and 1 pint of cream cheese may be substituted for a less rich cake. So for instructions, you're going to roll the Zwieback into crumbs and add to butter and 2 tablespoons of sugar. You want to cream the butter and sugar together before you add the crumbs though. They kind of write this in a strange order, but that's my note. Rub this mixture until well blended. So what I used was a hand mixer here. So I took the liberty with blend and beat in the recipe to use a modern technique with an electric hand mixer. Once you're done mixing those, you're going to put them in the bottom of a baking dish and press down evenly all around. I like to use a measuring cup with a flat edge or a cup to kind of get it nestled into the corners of your pan. I should note here, this is for a 12 by 8 inch cake. I used a 9 by 13 glass pan. You're going to then cream 1 cup of sugar and the cream cheese until it's well blended. Then you add flour, salt, vanilla, and your beaten egg yolks. Then you're going to mix well and add your milk, your cup of pet milk. After that, you're going to fold in some beaten egg whites, and I beat those until they were frothy. They were still clear, just foamy and frothy. Then after everything is mixed together, you've gently folded in your egg whites, insert Schitt's Creek joke here, pour into baking pan on top of crumbs. Then you bake in a slow oven, which luckily has a note of 325 degrees Fahrenheit, for 1 hour or more until no depression is left when touched in the center with finger, which is honestly a really descriptive note for a vintage recipe. All right, guys, so now is the best part of this video, which is where we get to try what we made. So we've got cheesecake, cheese space cake, from Pet Milk Cookbook from 1930. And as you can see, and as we kind of talked about earlier, it's square instead of in little pie-style slices because we made it in a rectangle pan. So that's one difference. You can kind of see there's a bit of like bubbling on the top, which is interesting for cheesecake. But otherwise it does look remarkably similar. So let's see how it tastes. Got a little crust shot. It's a little bit firmer than I feel like cheesecake is these days, but honestly very similar and pretty easy. Also, I didn't have to make it, bake it in a water bath. Honestly, I feel like this is a good hack. The cracker crust, the Zwieback crackers, is interesting. It's not too sweet. It's very well balanced actually, so a success all in all. Thank you for making this cheesecake alongside us, hopefully. The recipe will be listed in the comments or the notes, and happy National Cheesecake Day. Thank you for baking with us. Stay curious.